IVM.
Hello and welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru. This is the Fantasy Football Show, and I have Kumar, the leader, the legend, the champ, on joining us on Skype.
Yeah, the leader of the Football Twaddle Fantasy League.
Yes. So right up,
It's been 10 days and I'm still awaiting my gift for last month.
Yep, exactly. So here's it. So we said we are going to have monthly prizes. So the winners for the first month were our own Kumar Kanav. We didn't even know he was that good. So Kumar Kanav and Shivaram Parameshwaran and Mukesh Madhav, all the three of them tied at 277 points for the first week. So guys, for you to get your prizes, you need to either tweet to us or write to us on Instagram with the following details. One is your home address and a number where we can contact you, and also your favorite club, and also if you cook at home. So yeah, if you send us these 4 details, we are going to be sending along your prize, and you can open it and see what it is. Kumar?
I tweeted on the first, and you have all of my other details.
No, this is for the reference to the other 2, so that they could send it to us. I know all your details. I don't even know your new home address, so
You can personally come and deliver it in Delhi. That's fine.
all right. So let's start. International break done. Did you even think about fantasy football then?
Yes.
What did you think?
As the leader, I have a lot of responsibility.
What did you think about fantasy football then?
No, so, I was just checking how, the players are doing during the international break. So, Sterling had a really good international break. Then Kane scored a hat-trick and then scored one more yesterday and then missed the penalty.
Yeah, but
Pukki scored a goal. No, so I was just tracking some of the players, who are right at the top.
Don't you basically track just if they're injured or not?
No, but also their performance and the form, right? See, De Bruyne got 3 assists in 25 minutes during the boxing game. So I was just tracking the performances. And one of the players which, really came to my mind again, we have spoken about him. I don't have him in my team now, but I'm seriously considering getting him in. And that is James from United. He's scored the same goal again for Scotland this time.
Yeah, he is like the young Arjen Robben. Basically, he just scores the same goal.
He has the same thing, the same goal. And again, people know that's what he's going to do. He's just going to, cut in and curl one in from the right foot, and then people still are not able to defend against it.
Yeah.
And we saw Arjen Robben build a career out of it. And he's actually very cheap right now.
Daniel James, right? Before we get to all of that, you played your wild card for game week 4, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so I had to play it because when it started off, I'd put my hopes on Firmino from Liverpool, hope of saving some money. But the first 3 game weeks, found out that Salah is up and running. So, and then if you have to get like a 12 million player in, you can't do it without a wild card, basically.
I didn't understand. How many substitutions did you want to make that you used a wild card?
See, when you start off, especially at the start of the season, when you don't know the form of the players and everything, you take a few bets.
Yeah.
Like a few. So, Firmino was one of my bets. Jose Perez was another one of those. So these 2-3 players I had gone for, but then, the first 3-4 games, this fellow, apna Aston Villa wala. Grealish was another one of those. Especially, players come. Pukki was one of those which has clicked, but, Grealish and Jose Perez did not click as much, although Grealish has gotten some points. So, around game week 3, and, especially since I had a good start, so some of the other players were performing. Salah was one big miss, which I was feeling, especially with Salah and Aguero, both of them performing. I thought that, you need to get one of the big hitters in.
Yeah. So
while I thought that the wild card was a good choice, that you've seen the first 4 games. Probably, I think a lot of people use it after the first international break, which is now. So a lot of people will be using the wild card now.
Yeah.
Because, you get a good idea of about injuries and stuff and form and everything. I just preponed it by 1 week because I thought that I was missing out with Salah.
So one thing about wild card is that, At what point do you think your team is good enough to be changed completely? Like, you made your changes, fine, but is 4 game weeks a good data point? Let's say all your players are not injured. Do you give up? Do you? Is it too early to give up hope on some of them, or do you have to wait it out for like let's say the Wolves players, right? They haven't given that much return.
Yeah. No,
So,
again, see, the thing is that when I used my wild card, I was like my global rank was 6,000, like overall. Again, it's a bet that you have to take, that especially when you're playing in a mini league. And the thing is that if there are players who are performing consistently, even if it's for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you see that a Salah is performing, a Sterling is performing, and Aguero is performing. And if you don't have, I think that if you don't have two of those three, you are going to, even if your overall scores are still fine, that your players still perform, but within your mini leagues you're going to miss out, because most of the players, the other players in your mini league would have gone for these players. So that's the call that you have to take. Like,
so
you will never have enough data. See, it's FPL is not something which is entirely data based. Like, that's what happened last week, right? Sterling did not give any attacking returns. Aguero got like a hat trick.
Yeah, no. The point I was trying to actually it leads me into one more question, is that let us say even in our own mini league, right, or anyone playing in their mini league, what's the percentage of the team that's probably the same across the league?
I think around 5 to 6 players will be there. So see, like I said, I think 2 out of Salah, Sterling, De Bruyne, and Aguero will be there in every team. Every team. If you like, the mini league that we play is a league of 30 players. So all 30 of them will have at least 2 of these players. And then either of Ta or Van Dijk. Like, a lot of people have not gone for Robertson this year. So then, Digne will appear in at least 70% of the teams. Right now, Pukki will be in 80% of the teams. So a lot of this, but again, see, my point is that playing the differential is a good strategy, but you can only play the differential with 1 or 2 players. And, especially, like I said, 70% of the people, or like 100% of the people have Salah in the league, or 80% of the people have Salah in the league. If Salah scores 2 goals, you are out of contention for that week.
Yeah.
If you don't have
so, I mean, I was looking at the ownership numbers. Van Dijk is at 51%, Sterling is at 46%, Salah is at 43%, right? Yeah. I mean, so these 3 players basically are there in approximately 50% of the FPL teams, which is a crazy number.
And when you take it in terms of active teams, it'll be even higher, because a lot of people form their team in the first week and then don't play week on week.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to talk about Tanuj Baru so early in this whole thing. Yeah. So one more thing which was kind of interesting, which I was going through, is if you look at the bonus point system, Salah is not in the top 5 or 6 in the bonus points. It's basically Aguero, De Bruyne, Sterling, Pukki. Tammy Abraham has given more bonus points than Salah. Man. Yeah. So does that say that Salah is probably, even though he's scoring some goals and stuff, he's not putting in those man of the match performances? So does that actually give a reason for let's say someone is desperately looking for a reason to replace Salah with Mane. What would that reason be?
Again, see, with Liverpool, it's a huge risk. The whole thing happened last season also, that, because the front 3 are so dynamic and so actively involved in each and every move, you don't know where the finishing touch is going to come from.
Yeah.
These 3 will score 80% of Liverpool's goals, but you don't know how that 80% is going to be distributed. So it's a risk. See, Salah is like last season also I went with this strategy where I prioritized Mane over Salah, because that saved me like $2.5 million to invest at other places in the squad. I had thought that, this season also I'd go with that, where I got in Firmino. I probably panicked a bit too soon, but I think that getting in Salah was the right move for now.
Yeah.
See, the goals are going to be split, but again, like I said, the mini league and like whether you miss out on a week because you don't have that big hitter in your team is a big consideration.
Okay.
See, even if Firmino scores a hat-trick, I don't think more than 5 or 6 people in the league will have Firmino on their teams.
All right. So one thing, if for all the people who are going to make their wild card changes this week, what are the 2 things or 3 things they have to keep in their mind or take into consideration for making those changes?
See, again, like I said, when you're using a wild card, you're not making a team for just 1 week. So just, if you're thinking of getting a player and just see their fixes for the next 5-6 games, just check the That, and also I think one of the, like I said before, like, you have to get at least two of those four players in.
Yeah.
De Bruyne didn't have a good season last year because of his injuries. Now he's back and firing at again. So another thing is that De Bruyne pairs up really well with Aguero, and when De Bruyne and Aguero are both in the team, Sterling does not have that much attacking influence.
Yeah.
So again, one factor that we have to consider. So where you go for an Aguero and a De Bruyne combo, where for each goal scored you get points from two different sources in your team.
Yeah, so now let's talk about a few team specific. We already spoke about Daniel James, and if you look at the next four fixtures of Manchester United, it's Leicester, and then they play Arsenal, and then they play Newcastle, and I think before Arsenal they play West Ham. So Leicester, West Ham, Arsenal, and Newcastle, right? So these are the four teams they are going to play. So we know Man United is in bad form. They'll probably draw games or lose. But is there any player in Manchester United like Daniel James who we can probably pin hopes on getting some decent return?
Yeah, see, right now my problem is that if you go for a Rashford, you have better options at 7.5 million.
Yeah, but Rashford can't score penalties also. So he starts.
So Daniel James, for his price point, I think is a good option because he's competing at that price point. He's competing with your Jose Perez's and your Jack Grealish's and all. And I think he's had a really good start. He's already scored 3 goals in the Premier League, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 3 goals in the Premier League. Then he scored in the international window. He's and because of his start, he's going to start. Because at the start of the season, there were some doubts that when you sign a player from the Championship, you're not sure whether he's going to start in the league for the first 2 game weeks or not. So that's why a lot of people are not having in from the start. But I think it's a good bet to take at that price point. But because your options, like all of your other options at 5.5-6 million, will mostly be midfielders, defensive midfielders who will not have that much of an attacking contribution.
If you have to choose one player between Mason Mount and Daniel James, who would it be?
I think right now I don't know what Chelsea's fixtures are, but
I'll tell you Chelsea's fixtures. They're playing Wolves, and after Wolves they're playing Liverpool, and after that they're playing Brighton and Southampton. So yeah, other than the Liverpool game, they at least
winnable fixtures
or drawable or high score drawable fixtures. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with Chelsea. Even like the draws that they've had high scoring draws. So they're scoring 2 goals. Like even the Norwich game, they conceded 2 and they scored 3, and all of their goals are coming through Mount or Tammy.
Yes.
But again, I think that if you have Tammy, then you have to go for James. You can't have 2 Chelsea attackers in your squad.
2 Chelsea youth legends. Please, can we refer to them as that now?
Yeah, and that was another, like Chelsea was another of the reasons that I took a bet on Pulisic also at the start of the league.
All right. So 2 more questions before we take a break. Which Arsenal asset can you trust right now? Unai Emery does a lot of chopping and changing, and now with Aubameyang not playing as a centre forward, he plays from the wings. Is there any Arsenal asset you can trust in FPL?
I think again, it comes down. See, Pepe is too raw and too expensive right now. It all comes down to how much money do you have to spare. So, do you have a 9.5 million?
No, that's a different question. But I'm asking who is a good bet if we have to look at Arsenal.
I think Lacazette is a good bet because the system that Emery is trying to play with, and especially after we have sent off Mkhitaryan away, we don't have players to play on the left. So Oba will have to, put in a shift there. He will not get to play centre half, like centre forward for like many games. He'll have to play on the left because then, other than him, our options are Reece Nelson, who's too young. So he won't be starting a lot of games. So it is going to be Oba on the left, Pepe on the right, and Lacazette centre forward. And I think Laka has good, returns. But for that price point, like I said, in this league, there are 4 strikers. So there's Tammy Abraham, who's cheaper. There is,
but the thing is, Lacazette is a proven goal scorer, and if you look at the next 4 fixtures of Arsenal, they're playing Watford, then I think they're playing Bournemouth at some point, and then they're playing Manchester United and Aston Villa. So, right, these are the next 4 fixtures, not in that order particularly. But
my point is that even if you've seen the previous games of Arsenal, yes, Lacazette did score against Spurs, but that was a self-created chance. I think Pepe has had better goal scoring opportunities than Lacazette. Auba has had good goal scoring opportunities. So I'll break this answer into 2 points. One is that I have to pay more for Lacazette than I have to pay for, say, a Pukki or a Sebastian Haller.
Yeah.
Or a Joelinton from Newcastle. Then my other point comes that when I go for a Joelinton or a Pukki, I know that whatever Norwich score, Pukki is going to be involved in it, which is not the case for Arsenal right now. So you have to consider both of these factors, right? You are spending more money on Lacazette, and then the probability. So I'm not saying that Norwich will score more than Arsenal, but what I say that whenever Norwich score,
Pukki will somehow be involved.
Pukki will be involved.
All right.
And it's the same for Sebastian Haller as well.
Yeah, but West Ham, I mean, they have an amazing front. Like if you see Felipe Anderson, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Haller, all of them are so good. But I think with West Ham, probably like Sebastian Haller is the only one who's going to start. Other ones we need to wait. The last question before we take a break, with Aymeric Laporte being injured, a lot of people are saying that, there goes the clean sheet chances for Manchester City and they probably will not keep as many clean sheets. Do you concur? Yes, no, why? I don't think it's going to affect them at all. They'll continue keeping all those clean sheets, but I don't know. A lot of people suddenly seem to have a lot of doubts. It's like they were just finding a reason to kick out expensive defenders.
No, but again, I don't think a lot of people had expensive City defenders apart from people had Laporte and who you anyways have to keep if he's injured. So I think still a lot of Ederson's ownership stats are still very high. So people, and especially for someone who's going for an expensive keeper strategy because of Alisson's injury, Ederson is the only option available to you.
But why can't you probably take a risk on Otamendi, who is much cheaper, right? And Manchester City generally keep clean sheets.
Centre backs don't give you those as many points. So if you're gonna take a risk on Otamendi, why not take that risk on Kyle Walker or Zinchenko, who's cheap? Zinchenko is still 5.5. So if City get a clean sheet, you get the same points for Zinchenko that you get for a 6.5 million Laporte.
Yeah, but Zinchenko seems to be in that zone right now where that he is going to be starting to rotate quite a lot. People have to take into consideration Champions League is starting as well.
But the thing is that they still don't have, for the last 2 seasons, City do not have a left back because Mendy is still out injured. Mendy is supposed to return, I think, by the end of this month. But considering his injury record, I don't think that, he's going to come straight back into the first team. And also, I think that with City, the right back is more of a rotation option. Like Kyle Walker is more of a threat of a rotation because they signed a very expensive right back again this season.
Interesting. All right, we take a break right now. After the break, we talk about our 3 picks for game week 5, our 1 differential pick and our 1 captaincy pick. So stay tuned to Football Twaddle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, just a reminder, please do make sure that if you're listening to something that you enjoy, take a screenshot of that, tag us on one of our social media handles, and we'll retweet you or share you or, I don't know, whatever works in the different handles, right? On Cyrus Says this week, Cyrus is joined by Shrishti Arya, Director of International Originals at Netflix India. They talk about the upcoming slate of original Indian movies on Netflix and also touch upon the online streaming wars. On Agla Station Adulthood, hosts Ayushi and Ratasha are joined by the cast of Dice Media show Adulting, and they share some stories about growing up. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik is joined by Pradeep Narayan, Research Director at Praxis Institute of Participatory Practices. Pradeep breaks down the prevalence and evils of caste in India today. On a simplified shorty, Chuck and Shrika talk about Pablo Escobar, hippos and cocaine, and the bizarre legacy that connects the three. You don't want to miss this. You can also listen to Chuck on his short solo podcast, The Origin of Things, where he narrates a story about a Hungarian immigrant and yellow journalism, which led to one of the most prestigious accolades of modern history. It's a crossover episode on the Empowering series, as Zarina is joined by the host of The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor, and his dad, Wispy Doctor, to talk about the idea of starting Awesome 180. And on Ashton's own show, The Habit Coach, he shares 6 foundational habits for an awesome life. On Football Should Ball, hosts Gaurav, Karthik, and Siva bring to you a special episode where they talk about the greatest brawls in football. On Varta Lab, host Akash and Naveen are joined by rapper Onkar Pujari, who goes by the stage name Yeda Anna. The three of them talk about Onkar's journey in the Indian rap scene. On Geek Fruit, Tejas and Dinkar take a look at actors who moonlight as musicians and draw the distinction between vanity projects and music that endures. On Golgappa, Trupti is joined by Deepika Matre, who shares the story of her roller coaster ride from being a house help to a jewelry seller to doing stand-up comedy. Also, if you are in control of a brand and you want your brand to have their promos read on our podcast network, do get in touch with us. You can write to us on advertisers@indusvox.com. And with that, let's get you onto your show.
Welcome back to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru. My dear friend Kumar is on the phone or on Skype. Kumar.
Hey guys,
All right. So let's go. 3 picks for game week 5.
I think I've already highlighted Daniel James, and they're playing Leicester, who don't have a very strong defense. Actually, with Maguire leaving now, Sorinko has had a good start, but I still have my doubts over him. I think Daniel James is going to be not just for this game week, like for the period of next 4-5 game weeks, he's going to give at least 2 goals.
So he's one of the picks. What's the other one?
My other pick, I am very confused with Everton, man. I don't know what this team does.
Wait.
They had easy fixes. They have done
Let me
nothing
look at
with it.
Darius, a producer. Dude, do you know what Everton does? He's like, I don't care. Just get out of this place, record and go.
They still have like easyish fixtures. I think I don't know. Like Sigurdsson is the easy choice to take, but I think Iwobi got in last week. He scored a goal.
What
And he's
happened
gonna get a
to
lot more-
last season's favorite, Richarlison? No one seems to be choosing Richarlison this season in the team. He's selected only in 7% of the teams. And for all the talk of Sigurdsson also, he's selected only by about 6% of the teams. So people, there's
I think you have to
something.
see how many people have removed him over the last 3 weeks.
I mean, whatever
Like what stats did he start with? Like at the start of the season, I think Sigurdsson would have been around 15-18% mark.
So yeah, but Everton seems quite dicey other than Luca Digne because,
Yeah, he has a wicked cross, man.
yeah, other than that, I don't
But
think
you don't have
anyone.
a centre forward to attack that cross.
Exactly.
Which is-
Till Moise Kean probably does something about it. We don't know. So, but wait, again, your picks are Daniel James. What about James Maddison? He is a good choice, dude.
Yeah, he is. I think Vardy is, to be honest.
And I think a lot of people should consider Vardy, even though he is high price, is because, Brendan Rodgers does try and play more attacking football. So there will be more chances created.
Also, when you're playing against, United will play a high line against them. That is a fact. And that is where...
But it does not. It does not matter. No, even if United play a low block as well, they will still concede. So
No, the thing with Vardy is that Vardy excels in those places. Even the goal he scored in the last game week was a brilliant through ball from the back. And they have that distribution also now.
yeah,
Leicester from the middle of the park. So, and Vardy has a brilliant record against the top 6. So
yeah,
Vardy can be a good choice. Yes. So that is 2, right?
yes.
There's Vardy and who was the other one?
Daniel James, yes.
And I don't know, man. Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Is-
Harry Kane. They're playing Crystal Palace and
He
Leicester.
scored 4 goals.
They're playing Crystal
he's
Palace and
gonna-
Leicester over the next 2 game weeks. So
And also, that is claimed that he will never dive. He has never dived in his life. And he
oh
never
yeah,
will.
I want to talk about that. Does that put extra pressure on him on not to dive? So even if there's blatant penalty, he'll still try to stay on the ground and not get the penalty.
Are we talking about the same Harry Kane that that falls down even if you breathe on his neck?
Yeah, that guy. Yes.
Yeah, that guy, right? No, what it does is that since he's come out with that statement, now it gives him, I think, obviously this is coming from a place of bias. I think it gives him a little more leeway with the refs that, they can't label him a cheat because he's come out in public. He did that a couple of seasons back when he came out and, swore on his kid's life that he had scored a goal which he hadn't scored.
Oh God, I don't want to ask the question about the kid. All right, so those are your 3 picks. Mine would be, I think James Maddison will come to form. So he's one to look forward to. I have a good feeling about David Silva. If you see the last game, he was quite awesome. And David Silva is quite a cheap buy as well. I don't think David Silva just cost 7.5.
I have my doubts on, whether he'll start because I think they're trying to ease him out for Bernardo Silva. So you get Bernardo Silva, you get KDB, who are 2 fixed starters.
Okay. And I don't know what to make of Chelsea. Tammy scores of mistakes, but they're playing Wolves in game week 5. So that's going to be a hard one. It's not going to be...
But again, see, the thing is that, Tammy is going to start now. They're not going to choose Giroud over Tammy for the next 2-3 game weeks at least.
Yeah.
Especially, he's trying to blood in those, getting those youngsters. So he's going to get game time. He's going to get opportunities. And the kind of player he is, he's going to get opportunities. He scored 20 odd goals last season as well.
Yeah. And I would look at West Ham player. They're playing Aston Villa. So it's either Sebastian Haller or Lanzini. One of these two, I think, would give a lot of points. this week. I'm still not sold on the Ashley Barnes story. It's like the same thing. He scores 8 or 9 goals during the season, and we always pick him in the wrong time after he has scored his first 2-3 goals.
Yeah, he's already scored first 4 goals.
Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not too sold on Ashley Barnes. Taking him right now, I just have no idea. And whenever I pick someone, it's always after they perform their best. So
is the Pukki party over?
Not for me, but like 50% of them I've added. I think Pukki, for the first 3 game weeks.
The highest picked player, yeah. Last game week he was the highest picked player.
For the first 3 game weeks, I was just trying to find reasons to not pick Pukki, and which I think is a mistake I do almost every season in FPL. On when someone starts performing well and giving FPL points, I just like take 3 to 4 weeks to find reasons to not pick them, and then
you picked him. For the next game week and it didn't score.
No, and it just becomes too late. And once I pick them, they probably will not play for those 2 weeks or play well for those 2 weeks, and then it's just impatience. I think I'm trying to avoid doing that this season.
The point with Pukki. So do you have Pukki in your team or not?
I am looking at getting him in this weekend onwards, and I'll keep him for about 5 to 6.
I'll give you a couple of points. That he did score against Italy in the qualifiers, even though it was a penalty.
Yeah.
And second is that he is. He scored 5 goals in World Cup qualifying already.
I won't pick him for game week 5 because Norwich is playing Manchester City. So,
yeah.
But game week 6 is Burnley Norwich, and game week 7 is Crystal Palace Norwich. So yeah, from game week 6, I am looking at getting in Pukki.
The next 5 matches are easy.
Yeah.
So they have Burnley, Palace, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, and United.
Yes, exactly. Okay, what's your differential pick?
My differential pick, James McGinn.
Why? The Aston Villa guy, right?
Yeah.
You think he's going to create waves against West Ham?
Yeah, so he's had a good start. He scored 1, he's assisted 1 already in the league.
Okay.
And I think his contribution, so I've seen Villa play. Villa is not, that's what I like about, the teams which have been promoted this season. They're not just sitting back, they're attacking and they're taking the game to the opposition.
Because they want FPL points. Is that what you're saying?
And also McGinn had a brilliant season last time. He's played well for Scotland as well.
Yeah.
In the international break. So I'm going to get him. Again, so this is a very, off the charts pick. And I'm not saying this is someone who's going to give me like 12, 15 points. But I think I can get at least 5-6 points out of him. For someone who's 5.5 million, I don't think that's a bad pick.
Okay. Man, that's interesting. I was looking at Son from Tottenham as a differential pick. He may be expensive, but Tottenham needs some wins, and Son is back, and I think it just takes him.
Crystal Palace, right?
Crystal Palace, and he's
Palace
back.
Did putting a brilliant defensive performance last time out against United.
What? Defensive against United? What are you going on about?
They won 2-1 against United, right? When they defended the whole game after that scored early by Ayub.
Yeah, but then they...
And the fact is that, like Tottenham over the last season and a half, they've been struggling against teams who sit back and don't give them any space.
Mm-hmm.
And now one of their attacking, Lo Celso is out for a month and a half.
Yeah, so if not Son, at least I think Richarlison. It's time to bring back Richarlison.
I hope Everton does something.
Yeah, they're playing Bournemouth. They're playing Bournemouth, and Richarlison should do something. All right, the last question for the day. Your captaincy choice for this week, game week 5.
KDB.
Against Norwich, I would say Salah. I mean, Liverpool is playing Newcastle, and Salah, as we know, doesn't give assists or doesn't pass the ball to Mane, but he is on penalty duties as well. So there is a high chance he's going to score.
Newcastle have also had one of their, strong defensive performances against Spurs.
Dude, it's okay. Liverpool are at a different level. So
Liverpool will blow them away.
Yeah, so Salah is my captaincy pick, and your pick is Kevin De Bruyne. All right, Kumar, thank you very much.
And I've given away my top of the table strategy.
It's okay, don't cry about it.
Can you release this episode after the
game week? Yeah, sure. But see, we've given enough options of names. They don't know what you're going to do, right?
So also, even I don't know what I'm going to do.
Exactly. So when you yourself don't know, yes, that is your success. That's the mantra to your success. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, please tweet to us at @FootyTwaddle. Facebook and Instagram is Football Twaddle.
Tweet nice things, please. No horrible stuff.
Yeah, like one guy yesterday, he just on Instagram, he just took off on me because I said that idiots running Indian football. And it just went on Instagram and he's like, it's easy to sit and talk in the studio. And I was like, yeah, it is. But what angered...
It is. That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, but what angered you? I didn't
if
even...
we had to record from under a coal mile or something, I don't think we'd be on the podcast.
I didn't want to engage in that much. All right, Kumar, thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.
And all of you listeners, take care. Bye-bye. Have a happy Game Week 5. Bye.
Did you know that Parsis in Mumbai, instead of being left at the Tower of Silence after they die, are now cremated? And why? Because a cow fell sick in the early 1990s. Did you know that the smog in Delhi is caused by something that farmers in Punjab do and that there's no way to stop them? Did you know that there wasn't one gas tragedy in Bhopal, but 3? One of them was seen, but 2 were unseen. Did you know that many well-intentioned government policies hurt the people they're supposed to help? Why was demonetization a bad idea? How should GST have been implemented? Why are all our politicians so corrupt when not all of them are bad people? I'm Amit Verma, and in my weekly podcast, The Seen and the Unseen, I take a shot at answering all these questions and many more. I aim to go beyond the seen and show you the unseen effects of public policy and private action. I speak to experts on economics, political philosophy, cognitive neuroscience, and constitutional law so that their insights can blow not only my mind, but also yours. The Seen and the Unseen releases every Monday. So do check out the archives and follow the show at seenunseen.in. You can also subscribe to The Seen and the Unseen on whatever podcast app you happen to prefer.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Vaisa, the show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Vaisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.